Hey guys, I'm Adam.
I'm Ryan.
And this is Two Neighbors. Ryan?
Yes, sir.
What do we got going on today?
Alright guys, very excited. This is a special request and we are back doing some more George Carlin. It's been a little while.
It's been a little while.
Yeah. So
it's
this
nice
is
to revisit George.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got
I love
a few
George Carlin.
remaining left, so
Yeah.
you know it's gonna come down to the day where we're searching and searching and we don't see any more George.
No, there's some audio files and stuff we could do, like some audio Carlin.
Oh, our old buddy that was a big George Carlin fan. What was his name?
Chase.
Chase. What was it? Chase what?
420?
No, not 420. 428. 428 Chase.
Is that
That's
it?
it.
Right on.
428 Chase. Yes,
Yeah.
big George Carlin fan, so I'm sure he could recommend some audio files for us to do a reaction to. I'm sure there's plenty of those.
Yeah. So this one is called George Carlin on Soft Language, and this was a request by Brandon Day. So Brandon Day, thank you for the request. He put hashtag my request down below along with this URL, and that is why we're here checking out Carlin today. All right guys, so before we get into it, we have a special message from our sponsor. Take it away, Adam.
That's okanswag.com. Punch in Two Neighbors in the coupon code at checkout and you'll receive 20% off plus free shipping and pay no tax on some sweet Canadian swag, as you see down below and right here.
Oh,
USA.
I love that shirt.
It's my favorite shirt. So yeah, check out okanswag.com and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
All right, Brandon, thank you for the request. Let's go.
I don't like words that hide the truth. I don't like words that conceal reality. I don't like euphemisms or euphemistic language. And American English is loaded with euphemisms because Americans have a lot of trouble dealing with reality. Americans have trouble facing the truth. So they invent a kind of a soft language to protect themselves from it. And it gets worse with every generation. For some reason, it just keeps getting worse. I'll give you an example of that. There's a condition in combat. Most people know about it. It's when a fighting person's nervous system has been stressed to its absolute peak and maximum, can't take any more input. The nervous system has either snapped or is about to snap. In the First World War, that condition was called shell shock. Simple, honest, direct language. 2 syllables, shell shock. Almost sounds like the guns themselves. That was 70 years ago. Then a whole generation went by, and the Second World War came along, and the very same combat condition was called battle fatigue. 4 syllables now. Takes a little longer to say. Doesn't seem to hurt as much. Fatigue is a nicer word than shock. Shell shock. Battle fatigue. Then we had the war in Korea in 1950. Madison Avenue was riding high by that time, and the very same combat condition was called operational exhaustion. Hey, we're up to 8 syllables now. And the humanity has been squeezed completely out of the phrase. It's totally sterile now. Operational exhaustion sounds like something that might happen to your car. Then, of course, came the war in Vietnam, which has only been over for about 16 or 17 years. And thanks to the lies and deceit surrounding that war, I guess it's no surprise that the very same condition was called post-traumatic stress disorder. Still 8 syllables, but we've added a hyphen. And the pain is completely buried under jargon. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I'll bet you if we'd have still been calling it shell shock, some of those Vietnam veterans might have gotten the attention they needed at the time. I'll bet you. But it didn't happen, and one of the reasons is because we were using that soft language, that language that takes the life out of life, and it is a function of time. It does keep getting worse. Give you another example. Sometime during my life, toilet paper became bathroom tissue. I wasn't notified of this. No one asked me if I agreed with it. It just happened. Toilet paper became bathroom tissue. Sneakers became running shoes. False teeth became dental appliances. Medicine became medication. Information became directory assistance. The dump became the landfill. Car crashes became automobile accidents. Partly cloudy became partly sunny. Motels became motor lodges. Trailers became mobile homes. Used cars became previously owned transportation. Room service became guest room dining. And constipation became occasional irregularity. When I was a little kid, if I got sick, they wanted me to go to the hospital and see the doctor. Now they want me to go to a health maintenance organization or a wellness center to consult a healthcare delivery professional. Poor people used to live in slums. Now the economically disadvantaged occupy substandard housing in the inner cities. And they're broke. They're broke. They don't have a negative cash flow position. They're fucking broke. Because a lot of them were fired. You know, fired. Management wanted to curtail redundancies in the human resources area. So many people are no longer viable members of the workforce. Smug, greedy, well-fed white people have invented a language to conceal their sins. It's as simple as that. The CIA doesn't kill anybody anymore. They neutralize people. Or they depopulate the area. The government doesn't lie. It engages in disinformation. The Pentagon actually measures nuclear radiation in something they call sunshine units. Israeli murderers are called commandos. Arab commandos are called terrorists. Contra killers are called freedom fighters. Well, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? They never mention that part of it. Never mention that part.
That's good.
That is good. Oh, wow.
And some of this stuff is just silly. We all know that. Like on the airlines, they say they want a pre-board. Well, what the hell is pre-board? What does that mean? To get on before you get on? They say they're going to pre-board those passengers in need of special assistance. Cripples! Simple, honest, direct language. There's no shame attached to the word cripple that I can find in any dictionary. No shame attached to it. In fact, it's a word used in Bible translations. Jesus healed the cripples. Doesn't take 7 words to describe that condition. But we don't have any cripples in this country anymore. We have the physically challenged. Is that a grotesque enough evasion for you? How about differently abled? I've heard them called that. Differently abled. You can't even call these people handicapped anymore. They'll say, we're not handicapped, we're handy-capable. These poor people have been bullshitted by the system into believing that if you change the name of the condition, somehow you'll change the condition. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen.
Oh man, you can only see how sensitive people are today.
God, yeah.
No one's blind anymore, partially sighted or visually impaired. We have no more stupid people. Everybody has a learning disorder. Or he's minimally exceptional. How would you like to be told that about your child? He's minimally exceptional. Oh, thank God for that.
He's still exceptional, but he's minimal.
Psychologists actually have started calling ugly people those with severe appearance deficits. It's getting so bad that any day now I expect to hear a rape victim referred to as an unwilling sperm recipient. And we have no more old people in this country. No more old people. We shipped them all away. And we brought in these senior citizens. Isn't that a typically American 20th century phrase? Bloodless, lifeless. No pulse in one of them. A senior citizen. But I've accepted that one. I've come to terms with it. I know it's here to stay. We'll never get rid of it. That's what they're going to be called, so I'll relax on that. But the one I do resist, the one I keep resisting, is when they look at an old guy and they'll say, look at him, Dan. He's 90 years young.
Yeah.
Imagine the fear of aging that reveals. To not even be able to use the word old to describe someone. To have to use an antonym. And fear of aging is natural, it's universal, isn't it? We all have that. No one wants to get old, no one wants to die, but we do. So we bullshit ourselves. I started bullshitting myself when I got to my 40s. As soon as I was in my 40s, I'd look in the mirror and I'd say, Well, I guess I'm getting older. Older sounds a little better than old, doesn't it? Sounds like it might even last a little longer. Bullshit, I'm getting old. And it's okay, because thanks to our fear of death in this country, I won't have to die. I'll pass away.
And that you did.
Yeah.
Or I'll expire like a magazine subscription. If it happens in the hospital, they'll call it a terminal episode. The insurance company will refer to it as negative patient care outcome. And if it's the result of malpractice, they'll say it was a therapeutic misadventure. I'm telling you, some of this language makes me want to vomit. Well, maybe not vomit. Makes me want to engage in an involuntary personal protest.
Oh, that's good.
So good. So well thought out, George Carlin.
All right, so that has to be one of the better Carlins I've seen.
Absolutely.
Brandon.
That was very well thought out stand-up routine by the late and great George Carlin.
Yeah.
Or should I just say great?
Yeah, the previously expired.
Yeah, the previously expired George Carlin.
That's awesome. And you know what? Like, soft language, it's so prevalent in our society. We don't even realize how prevalent. Like, when he's talking about those things, like, I worked at Dave & Buster's, and like my first day there, I'm like, you know, I'm still new. I don't know what's going on, right? So I tell manager, I'm like, this customer's interested in getting a pool table. And two things, like, actually, he goes, we call it a pocket billiard table. And the other thing, he's like, it's not a customer, they're a guest. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah,
and
I remember that. I went to Dave & Buster's too.
Yeah, they drive it home. It's like, you cannot call someone a customer, they are a guest.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to when, like, my brief stint in the car business, he talked about used cars. It's like so funny. It's like we do not call them used cars, pre-owned,
they sound dirty.
or like the pre-owned, or like they have all these like new like jargons for like to make you feel better about
that language to make it appealing.
The what do they call them? I can't remember what they call it. Like not like premium, pre-inspected, pre-owned or something. It's like
it softens it up, makes it sound a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's not used. It's just pre-owned.
Again, like this is the type of stand-up that I love from George. It's so well thought out. He's such like he puts so much thought into his stand-ups. Like you don't just come up with that like with a joke like just like suddenly. Like those routines must have taken him a long time to write and then also like recite.
He absolutely. I mean, and his like delivery of it is so incredible. But he's definitely a genius. And there's like multi-millionaire business people that like. They in interviews they said like, my mind is just set to observe the world in a different way than other people. And they when they go somewhere, they see something, and I would look at it and I'd be like, that's cool. They look at it as like, that's an opportunity. Yeah. And I think with George, it was the same way. He could like see something in the world and we would just take it for granted, but he would think about it. Yeah. And that's his genius, is converting that into like true things that are funny, right? Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's also like Jerry Seinfeld, for instance.
Yeah,
like,
observational comedy.
Observational comedy. It's like, how do you describe it? How do you describe Jerry Seinfeld's like show? Like it's a show about nothing, right?
Yeah, well, the whole Seinfeld show is about nothing.
The whole show's about nothing.
Yeah.
But it's about everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's a good way to put it. It's about nothing, but it's about everything. And at the end, all the nothing ties into something big. It all ties in together.
It all means nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It all means nothing. And that's why it's back to the next episode the next week. But,
Brandon Day, thank you very much for that request. That was a solid one. So please send us some more. Guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, Two Neighbors, and don't forget to check out oknswag.com. Punch in Two Neighbors in the checkout code to get 20% off plus free shipping and pay no tax, and get yourself some sweet Canadian swag. USA all the way. Ryan, what else should these lovely people do?
Well, like, share, and subscribe, guys. When you hit that subscribe button, please hit that bell for notifications to get notified every time we post a new video, guys. We have new content every single day, and we don't want you to miss it.
That's it for our show. We'll see you next time.
Later, guys.